Hello everyone, Tikabot here. Welcome back to the Road to Endgame series. In today's episode, we're kicking things off with Ultra Nulgath run as part of our weekly Ultra Boss grind. This is a great way to rack up gold, gain experience, and collect those valuable insignia of Nulgath. We're also putting our new class from the last episode, the Arch Paladin, to the test right here in Ultra Nulgath. As Arch Paladin, I'll need to keep my taunt looped with LR and focus on Nulgath the entire run. After we wrap up Ultra Nulgath, we'll dive straight into Ultra Dage for another weekly boss run to collect Dage's insignia. We're collecting Nulgath's insignia to make progress toward obtaining the Void High Lord, which is one of the most powerful classes in the game. As for Dage's insignia, I'll be using those to speed up the process of getting the Legion Revenant class. Both items are essential for unlocking these top-tier classes, so these boss runs are definitely a must-do weekly. Taking on Ultra Dage comes with more challenges, as you'll need a health vamp enhancement on your weapon to even stand a chance otherwise. You'll find yourself dying quickly. Healing isn't typically allowed during this fight, so it's best to avoid using it. To play it safe, I recommend having a lifesteal scroll ready to help maintain your HP during the battle. With that done, the next step I took was turning in the daily quests along with the Ultra quests. This helps maintain steady progress. I'll be aiming to complete the entire Chaos Lord Saga today, as it's one of the key requirements for unlocking the Lord of Order class. This will be a major milestone, bringing me closer to securing one of the most versatile support classes in the game. First up, I'll be tackling the 11th Lord of Chaos, Chaos Lord Lionfang. We first head to join Blackhorn to assist General Lionfang in his search for a cure for chaos. We begin with Final Rest, defeating 5 restless undead. Next, Disturbing the Peace has us collecting 10 tomb fragments scattered around the map. In Sampling Silk, we fight tomb spiders for 6 silks. Next is Fire is the Thing quest, which requires cloth from restless undead, gas bladders from spiders, and finding the last bottle. The Wall Comes Down quest has us breaking through a barrier, leading to a mini boss fight in the Bone Feeder. With the spider defeated, we proceed with What Lies Beyond quest. And for the last quest, it has us applying a potion to uncover the Dark Blood Scroll. On a side note, since we had a lot to cover in today's episode, I'll be speeding up the quests and just showing the moments where we complete and turn them in. I'm doing this part mostly because of Wah and his awesome videos. I really enjoyed watching them, and if you haven't checked out his content yet, I totally recommend giving it a watch. And as for me, I'm pretty busy at the moment with work and other projects, so putting out videos has been delayed quite a bit. Recording and editing take up a lot of time, but editing is definitely what's taking up most of my time. I don't want to release a video that doesn't show any progress, so I'm focusing on making videos that are packed with content. Alright, we're finally facing Lionfang and wrapping up the 11th Chaos Lord storyline. Once we've taken him down, it's time to jump straight into the next part of our journey with the Chaos Twins. We're kicking things off in /join Battle Off, where we'll dive into Mirror Drakath's quest to start the Chaos Twins storyline. I won't be dragging this out too long since we've got a few more storylines to get through in this episode. For now, I have a question for you guys in the comments. When do you think I should consider this series complete? Right now, I'm just playing through everything and don't have a set end goal in sight. It could be when I finally get the strongest class, or maybe when I defeat the toughest boss in the game. What do you guys think would make a satisfying ending point for this series? Having a clear end goal would definitely make this series more fulfilling, because it would help me gauge my progress and give us all something to look forward to. Knowing if I'm getting closer to that final objective makes each milestone more rewarding. So if you guys have any ideas for what the end goal of this series should be, I'd really appreciate it if you could share your thoughts in the comments. Your input would mean a lot and help shape where we're heading with this series. And with Xiang defeated and the Chaos Twins storyline wrapped up, we're ready to move on to the next challenge. But before diving into the next Chaos Lord, we'll take a moment to turn in our daily quests and ultra dailies to check on our progress. Since this is where most of our levels and gold come from, I make sure to include it in the video each time I do my dailies. It's essential to show the progress and how these daily tasks contribute to overall growth. With the daily quest completed, we can now dive back into the Chaos Lord Alteon storyline. Like before, since this storyline involves numerous quests and cutscenes, I'll just show the key moments of me turning in the quests and progressing through the story to keep things moving smoothly. While working on completing the Chaos Lord Alteon storyline, I want to take a moment to talk about my upload speed for the videos. At the moment, I'm focusing on keeping this process pressure-free. The main reason I started making these videos in the first place was to share my progress and enjoy the game, not to stress over deadlines or uploads. For me, it's all about having fun and sharing genuine progress in each episode. Some quests take longer, and sometimes life gets busy with work or other projects. So keeping it casual ensures I can continue to make videos that I enjoy creating and you enjoy watching. So before we continue, we've officially reached the final quest for the Chaos Lord Alteon storyline by defeating Alteon. We'll wrap up this part of the Chaos Saga and finally move on to the next and last chapter. The Chaos Lord Saga, featuring the 13th Lord of Chaos, will be kicking things off in /join Mount DoomSkull. To start off, we'll be making our way to the top of Mount DoomSkull, clearing out mobs as we go. Now, getting back to what I said earlier. The videos will come when they come. It might take a week or maybe just a few days or even longer depending on how things are going on my end. Between work, personal projects, and life in general, finding time to record and edit can be tricky. That said, I don't want to rush things just for the sake of putting out a video. I want each upload to have meaningful progress and be worth your time to watch. I really appreciate your patience and support as I juggle everything. The goal here is to share the fun and keep enjoying the game and not to make it feel like a chore. So, whenever I can squeeze in a few hours to work on content, I'll make sure it's something worth sharing. Now, let's talk about the last storyline in the Chaos Lord Saga. This storyline has a sense of finality to it, with everything building up to the climactic battle against Drakath. Along the way, we'll encounter familiar faces, fight through waves of chaos monsters, and learn of the story of Drakath. And to be honest, while working through the final storyline, I noticed something. There's way more cutscenes and lore than actual gameplay. Now, if you're the kind of player who loves diving into the story, this is probably an enjoyable experience for you. The rich lore and narrative build-up in this part of the saga are definitely its strengths. But if you're more like me and prefer gameplay over extended storytelling, it can feel a bit challenging. I really wish the story was better integrated into the quests themselves, so you could experience it while actively playing rather than sitting through back-to-back cutscenes. The biggest hurdle, though, is the pacing. Some of these cutscenes, while meant to be brief, can drag on for minutes due to the game slowing down. A 10-second moment can easily feel like an eternity. It really throws off the flow, making this storyline tough to push through if you're just here for the action. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely something to keep in mind as we wrap up the saga. This is one of those cutscenes that really slows things down. What you're seeing here is the normal speed of how it plays out, and as you can tell, it's painfully slow. And this is what it looks like at 20x speed. This might have been how they intended it to be, but the game's performance just can't keep up. Instead of enhancing the experience, it ends up feeling frustrating when everything drags on longer than it should. I can totally appreciate the story if the cutscenes didn't make the game so slow. But honestly, when they drag on like this, it really kills the vibe. Even if they have the best storyline or plot, it just doesn't grab me when it's so frustrating to sit through. The pacing just makes everything feel more annoying than enjoyable. And the fact that after every kill, there's a new cutscene, that's definitely not it for me. I get that they want to tell a story, but having so many interruptions just takes away from the fun. Now, for the next part, we'll be taking on the 12 Chaos Lords one by one again, starting from the very first all the way to the final one. And spoiler alert, the 13th Lord of Chaos is none other than you, the player. How did this happen? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, since the painfully slow cutscenes made it hard to follow the story in detail. From what I gathered, it seems we, the player, are also a dragon somehow. Yeah, I'm just as confused as you are. But if anyone has a clearer understanding of what's going on, feel free to explain it in the comments because honestly, I'm lost. Once we manage to defeat our chaotic self, it sets the stage for the ultimate showdown against Prince Drakath. This final battle will mark the end of the Chaos Lord storyline, bringing everything full circle and wrapping up this epic saga. With the Chaos Lord storyline finally wrapped up, we've hit a huge milestone in our journey. Now it's time to tackle the last quest and unlock the Lord of Order class. It's been a long grind getting to this point, but all the effort we've put into finishing the storyline and keeping up with the daily quests is finally paying off. For the final quest, all that's left is to take down the Champion of Chaos Drakath in Ultra Drakath. And with that, we can finally unlock the Lord of Order class. This is hands down the best non-calendar support class in the game, and it's a must-have for anyone tackling Ultra Bosses or group content. It's been a long grind, but totally worth it. Now that we've unlocked the Lord of Order class, we can also kick off our first Champion Drakath weekly Ultra Boss run. This marks the beginning of our journey toward obtaining the Chaos Avenger class, another incredible endgame class. For this fight, I'll be using the Stone Crusher class, as it's one of the best options for tackling this Ultra Boss. Its mana sustain, defensive buffs, and debuffs make it a key choice for survivability and teamwork in such challenging battles. And with that, we're finally wrapping up this episode. And a big shout out to the Misfit Guild for their incredible help with the Ultra Boss. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment with any suggestions or tips for what we should tackle next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.